All right, everybody, it is about 7 o'clock here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First, I want to thank everybody for attending. This is the library's very first remote event that we're hosting. We're going to be hosting several of these due to the shelter in place. We still have a lot of great fun stuff to bring to you, and we hope you find this very valuable and entertaining. If you don't know me, my name is Frank Murray. I'm the new library director at the Itasca Community Library. And I'm going to be talking about tips and tricks on how to cut your cable cord. As I mentioned, this is our very first remote class, so there's going to be more. We have a whole slew of things coming up down the road. We actually, if you're into crafting, on Friday night, there's a virtual crafting club or knitting club that's going to be meeting on Friday night. So please stay tuned to our e-newsletter, our website, and also check our social media for additional classes. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be having. We're also recording this session too, so if you or a friend or anyone, a neighbor, whoever missed it out, they can check it out on our YouTube channel here. That's where we'll post it later on. So let's go ahead and get started. In today's class, we're gonna teach you how to cut the cable cord. We're gonna go over the basics, introduce you to what all the different options and avenues that you have going when you decide to cut the cable. If you do have questions, if you joined us in the last couple minutes, participants are muted, but if you do have a question, there's a chat feature. If you're on a desktop or a laptop, if you go towards the bottom of the screen, up will pop a little menu at the bottom there that will allow you to enter a chat question. And I'll try to answer those as we go along here in the program. So let's dive in. Before I officially start, I just want to say that the experiences and views expressed in this presentation, are mine and other staff that I've worked with that have also cut the cable. We're not trying to promote a particular service or product. These are just our experiences, and we're just trying to share them with you to give you the best information and hopefully allow you to make a decision yourself. So basically, cutting the cable cord is an easy task here. We pretty much, it'll allow you to save some serious money, and but like anything else, you always want to make sure you research your product, research something before you do it. That's really important. And a lot of people, when I do these presentations, I get a lot of questions about what streaming is. So essentially what you're doing is you're streaming content, which means you're watching a show instantly through your internet rather than having to wait for it to air or be broadcasted via cable or downloaded. Right now, you don't want to get this too confused with live TV. There are options for you when you cut the cable cord for live TV, but those options are becoming more and more popular, and we'll go through all those here as we go on. And as I mentioned too, this has all been based on the experience of myself and other people that I've worked with at various libraries. So what might work for me might not work for you. And what I highly recommend is that you put together a list of TV channels that you can't live without. Like, I gotta have NBC5. I gotta watch the programs that are on NBC5. I also gotta watch. I gotta have my sports. Write down those channels that you can't live without. My family, we made this decision about 2 or 3 years ago to cut the cable cord. Every month we were getting our bill in. It was really a financially driven decision. We were getting our bill in, and it was at least $150 a month. It was really more like $160 or $170, and that was just really getting to be too much for us to afford. So we started exploring cutting the cable. We put together a list of TV channels that we can't live without, and now after we're on, he's probably year 3 now, and we get our Wi-Fi or internet through Comcast, which comes to about $60 a month, and then we also have subscriptions to streaming services like Netflix, which is roughly about $12 a month. Disney Plus, we kind of recently added that for our kids. We got a 6 and a 3-year-old. That's about $7 a month. And then we also have a subscription with Amazon Prime, which at the time when we got on with Amazon Prime, it was a 1-year cost of $99, which came out to about between $8 or $9 a month. That has since gone up a little bit. I believe it's $119 a year, so they raised it about $20. And then finally, we also have access to Hulu. We get Hulu for free through our phone service through Sprint. So that's kind of a little added bonus. All those different services, including our internet, comes to about just under $90. So if we're looking at our last bill from our with our TV and cable included in it, that's about a $60 a month savings, which will come to just over $700 a year in savings for us. So we really like that. Prior to coming to Itasca, I was at the Brookfield Public Library. And one of my very first presentations we did there for Cutting the Cable, we had an elderly woman who really just wanted to watch 2, 5, 7, 9, all the publicly broadcasted channels. And she was paying almost $200 a month to her cable provider just for those channels. So we were able to save her a significant amount of money by just getting a simple digital antenna. And she was saving $150 to $200 a month. So that's an extreme situation. But on the other hand, you might be hearing all this stuff and you're like, okay, I need to have this channel, I need to have this channel. It might boil down to where financially it might even out, because you can't live without HBO. You got to watch your live sports. You got to have Netflix. You got to have Hulu for their original content that they're creating. So that's you might start to tally all these bundles up, and it might be getting pretty close to your original cable bill. So again, it's not for everybody, but hopefully we'll be able to give you some good information here so you can make a good choice for yourself. All right, so to get started, you're going to need to consider several things here. You're going to still definitely need internet. You're going to need Wi-Fi in order to stream your content to your TV. And we'll get into the specifics of that here pretty soon here. You're also going to need a streaming device like a Roku stick or Roku TV box or Amazon Fire Stick. Those tend to be the most popular devices. And you're also going to need a streaming option. And when I say streaming option, a streaming service or a streaming channel can kind of all mean the same thing there. So we'll cover those. Those include your more popular ones like Netflix and Hulu. Optional, if you want a digital antenna. They're fairly inexpensive and they're pretty easy to install, and that gives you all the publicly broadcasted channels. We'll get more into that. And then we'll talk about some additional options that we have at the library that we can help you out with. And then finally, your budget. Obviously, that's an important thing here. So if you are looking to cut the cable because your bill is too high, you will definitely want to make sure you have your numbers right to make sure this is a good financial decision for you. All right. So our internet. You're still gonna need Wi-Fi. We still can't tell Comcast and AT&T, hey, see you later, we're out of here. We still need them to provide a good solid internet connection in order for us to stream. On average, about a 2-hour HD movie that's streamed to your device requires at least 5 Mbps or megabits per second per stream. So you're going to need at least that amount of speed, which pretty much easily comes standard with any internet package that you get from the major internet service providers these days. So one of the things that I had to do when we cut our cable is we called up Comcast and told them, hey, we're cutting our cable, and then we, for lack of a better word, haggled or negotiated with them to get our internet lower. we had part of our original plan was like 100 or 150 MPBSs, which was an insane amount for us. We were just using it to stream some content and check emails, just surf the internet. We really weren't, we didn't need that much speed. So I would say for a family of two people, about 25 MPBSs would be standard. If you got a family of 4, you definitely want to think about upgrading that to at least 50. If you have video gamers that love to play video games and stream it online, you're probably going to be looking at least 50, 75 to 100 MPBSs to make sure everybody can enjoy the service that they're looking for. So that's a big thing to be aware of. And also too, if something down the line that's coming in terms of picture quality is called 4K, and the picture quality there relates to the 4K is going to require a much faster internet speed. So that's something to consider if you're a big picture quality person. You want to get the latest and greatest in technology, and you want the new 4K TV. You're going to want to get higher internet speed. So in order for you to stream your content in your 4K, you can do that. If you're not sure of what your internet speed is, you can go to speedtest.net, and that's speedtest.net. You're going to want to go on there. It's just a simple site. There should be like a little begin test button on there. Just click that, and that will go through how fast your internet speed is. Going back to a previous presentation that I did, there was a woman who she thought she was paying for 150 MPBSs, but when she went and did the speed test, she was not getting anywhere near that amount. I think she was getting closer to 70 or 80 MPBSs. So she had a nice conversation with her internet service provider to get that lowered and money off her devices, or money off her services there. So right here, we talked about our internet connection. Then we're going to need our streaming device that we can then display to our home television there. So let's talk about, here we go, internet. That's that slide. So there we go. We got our streaming devices. So these can be either a box or a stick. We've got some examples here up on the left-hand side. Again, our most popular ones tend to be the Roku and the Amazon Fire TV stick. Those tend to be the 2 more popular streaming devices, but there's other options here. If you have a smart TV at home, pretty much any TV that's been purchased in the past, 2 years would qualify as a smart TV. You don't need any of this stuff. You can just go to your streaming options or to your app page with your remote and just start downloading these apps. If you have a Blu-ray player at home, you can easily use this to download apps and stream content. That's actually what we used when we first cut the cable. We didn't want to pay extra money for one of these devices, so we got my sister-in-law's old Blu-ray player. We're able to use that. If you have gamers too, the gaming consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, those all allow you to stream. PS4 actually had a streaming channel service that they have since canceled that, but you can still use those devices to stream. I've already mentioned the Roku devices, the Amazon Fire TV stick. Apple TV also has their own slew of streaming devices. So there's actually like a physical little box, or you can get like a Apple TV stick that you can plug into the side of your TV. And what's really neat with Apple TV is if you have Apple devices, you're a big Apple person, that's probably the way you want to go. They'll allow you to screen share. So if you got a video on your phone that you're watching, you can easily share that with your on your TV there. Another popular one down here is Chromecast. It's Google's attempt to get into the streaming device industry. Or if you're like me, looking for an easy way to do things, you can just connect with a laptop and with your HDMI cord, connect to your TV and stream your content that way. So essentially what all these devices do is it allows you to, this acts as your old cable box. This kind of replaces your cable box, where your cable box brought you all those thousands of channels that you just flip through when you're super bored. This replaces it and gives you access to all that content that you're looking to stream. And I would be a very bad librarian if I did not mention that one of our online databases that you can access for free with your Itasca library card is Consumer Reports. They have an excellent breakdown of all these devices. They give you the pros and the cons. So I highly recommend that you go there. You can access it for free. Go to our website, itascalibrary.org. You're going to click on research and then onto databases, and then there's Consumer Reports right there. If you're at home accessing that database, it will ask you for your library card. So be ready to put that in. And one more plug too. If you don't have a library card and you need to get one, you can also go to our website and apply for a digital library card. And that will get you access to Consumer Reports as well. All right. Awesome. So on to our streaming services. So streaming services or streaming channels, these tend to be the more popular ones that are available that folks are really interested in. When streaming first came about, these all tended to be services that provided you content that had already aired. These were the previous seasons, the seasons that had been over for several years. They were all available through one of these services. Like Hulu, when it originally launched, it was the greatest repository of TV shows. It pretty much had every TV show under the sun. And they've since evolved. They've now they offer, that's a basic package that they offer. Now they offer a live TV option, and they're producing their own original content too. And those are the prices listed right there. If you're just looking for a basic package, it can be $6 a month. The $61 a month, that includes everything. That includes live TV. They give you access to a plethora of channels. Netflix has probably been the leader for a long time. They have a variety of different packages available for you, and you can check those out. Amazon Prime, not only can you shop for your groceries and cool little gadgets that you want to buy and get delivered to your home within 24 hours, they also allow you access to some TV shows and movies as well. And they also have created their own original content. Popular on Amazon is Man in the High Castle. Netflix, The Crown is on Netflix, and gosh, now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of Netflix big Stranger Things. There we go. Stranger Things and The Witcher's on Netflix. They're creating a lot of original content that's starting to become award-winning as well. And Hulu, Handmaid's Tale. You can't find that anywhere else except on Hulu. There's additional ones on there too that you can go through. Crackle is free. It's more of a comedy-based one. Oops. Let me go back. Crackle, again, like I said, it's free. It's comedy-based. It used to actually have, Jerry Seinfeld had a Comedians in Cars TV series that's been a recent hit, and that originally started on Crackle. Now, Jerry sold out, and I can't remember what station he's on or what service provider he's on now, but he's getting paid handsomely to do that again. So there's also HBO Go. So if you're a big HBO fan, it is $15 a month. That was kind of the shocker for me when I first cut the cable. I was like, oh, you know what? It's $15 a month. It's got to be the cable companies jacking up the price. But no, that's really the cost of what it is. YouTube TV, we'll get more into that here in the next slide, because that's a more of a live stream option for you guys. But also new to the game, over here in the bottom right corner, you can see Disney Plus. They just recently, within the past several months, got into the streaming game, and they took all their content. They took all their Disney movies, all the Pixar. They even have rights to Marvel, to Star Wars, and to National Geographic, and they throw it all into this little streaming option here for you. And that, I believe, is it's either $5 or $6.99 a month that you can get Disney Plus for. We have, like I mentioned at the beginning, we have a subscription to that, and it's great for the kids. Or if you want to go back in time and check out all those old Disney movies that you grew up watching as a kid. Another service too that's pretty new to the game is Apple TV. Apple launched their own streaming service, and it's been pretty popular as well. They're also creating, it's mainly new content. They haven't done too many new shows, but their most popular one, I'm not going to remember the name of it. I don't have it written down in front of me, but it's with Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, and that's received a lot of publicity. So these are going to be changing all the time. It's just everyone's going to want to get into the streaming industry here, and they're going to be constantly new options arriving for you. Some additional channels that I don't have up there. There's a PBS channel. There's, for the sports fans, there's MLB TV. There's NHL TV. There's NFL Game Pass. So there's a lot of different options for you too. Those also have a significant cost too. So again, if you're one of those people who I need my MLB TV, hopefully we can get some baseball coming up here soon. But if you do need that, that's going to be, I think it's $100 for the season. All right, and moving on to the next slide here. So we talked about our different streaming options. These are additional streaming options that specialize in live TV. So before, when, this became really popular within the last year or two. And when I say popular, is they've made it relatively easy and efficient to stream live TV. 2 or 3 years ago, it was just kind of starting off, and it was really didn't work as well. But now they really have things under control, and are able to provide it for you pretty well. Sling TV is one of the more popular ones. YouTube TV. There's a new one called Philo. There's CBS Access, and for your sports fans, Fubo TV. That if you're looking any type of soccer game, there's a crazy amount of stuff on there. I have a friend who's kind of a big gambler, and I believe there's even horse racing on there, so he's got a subscription to that. But they all have their own set of channels that they give you access to. So for example, with Sling TV, I had a subscription with them about 1.5 years ago. I no longer, just wanted to try it out. And they have different tiers for you. They have tier 1, which I think is $20 a month, and that gives you access to about 25 channels. Then tier 2, 30 or 35 channels, and then they have a complete package for, I think, $40 a month or $45 to give you access to all their channels. And it's kind of similar with YouTube TV. It gives you, I think there's like 70 plus channels that you can that you get access to through YouTube TV. Now, again, all these services cost money, so I recommend that you go to, take that list of your channels that you can't live without, and see what's available in these service options. I know in our area, our big sports channel is NBC Sports. That's where the Blackhawks, the Bulls, and the White Sox, they all have the majority of their games broadcasted on there. So I know YouTube TV and Sling TV now have officially got into that market. So those that channel should be available on there. That, for the longest time, had been the Achilles heel of a live TV streaming options, is that sports wasn't really available. And now that is starting to enter the market here, and you're seeing Sling, YouTube TV, Hulu TV, Hulu Live TV has Comcast Sports, it's not Comcast Sports anymore. It's NBC Sportsnet. So that was always the Achilles heel, and that's what was really holding me back from cutting the cable 2 or 3 years ago. Was I'm a big White Sox fan, love the Blackhawks, love the Bulls, and giving those guys up was a little bit difficult. But I've been able to keep in touch, and the last couple of years wasn't too good for the White Sox, but now I think they're coming back. Hopefully we can find out here. We get some sports coming back. So those are your live TV options there, and there's many more too. These are just a select few. So now on to digital antennas. If you're someone that's just looking for 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 32, what have you, this is how you can go about getting these for free. All you need to do is purchase one of these antennas. They come in a variety of models and shapes and sizes, and you're ready to go. It replaces your old TV antenna, the wired up TV with the clothes hanger, and but this allows you to broadcast in HD quality. I personally have this guy here on the right. I found it works. It's really great. The name of that is 1x1. I went to Amazon and purchased it for about $25. I plugged it in, held it up to my big bay picture window in my living room, and able to get 60 plus channels that are publicly broadcasted. So that's real simple. And this thing is so thin and inconspicuous, I can just lay it on our TV stand. And as I mentioned before, I got a 6 and a 3-year-old. They completely ignore it. They don't pay any attention to it. And, it just sits there on the TV stand. Every once in a while, when I know, like on a Sunday, when there's a Bears game, I will tape that bad boy up to the wall to ensure there's no interference or no issue with the signal getting to the antenna. So that's something you may consider. Or this option over here is called the Mohu Leaf. You can get it on Amazon or directly from another provider there. But the Mohu Leaf, this runs anywhere from about like $30 to $60. This particular model that's shown here is actually peelable, so you can peel it and stick it to your wall, peel it off and move it to another wall, and you can also color the antenna to go along with the paint on your wall. So if you're really big aesthetically how things look, you can paint that. It's a neat option for you. And then there's the one on the bottom here where you can actually get a roof antenna there, so you can wire in. And so I mentioned it's your publicly broadcasted channels, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 32, so on. You can also go to, there's a couple websites that you can go to see which channels are available in your area. So if you want to do a little bit more research, you can go to antennaweb.org/address, or you can go to the fcc.gov, their website. So it's actually fcc.gov/media/engineering. And that will take you to a place where you can type in your address, and it will show you not only what channels will reach you, but you can also see how close the broadcasting station is. And this plays a significant factor because most of these antennas have a range that they work with. It's typically 20 or 30 miles. Thankfully, we are in the greater Chicago area, so most of these broadcasting stations are within 10 to 15 or so miles within where we're at. So most of these antennas will work. If you're in more of a rural area, a further bit away from the city, you might want to look at antennas that are guaranteed at least maybe 25, 30, or 50 miles. They also come with adapters too that will like increase the frequency range for the antenna to pick up those signals. And the last time I checked and looked at the digital antennas, I think the best was 50-mile range, but I could very well be wrong with that. So definitely a very inexpensive option for you. Like I mentioned at the beginning, is that there was a person that an elderly woman, all she wanted to do was just watch 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, and that's all she did was purchase one of these for about $30, and I got rid of her cable and saved significant amounts of money. So let's see here. Oh yes, over the air DVR. So this is something that's starting to become a little more popular. Is being able to record your live over the air streaming options. One of the things that's available is Fire TV Recast. This is through Amazon. And then, gosh, I can't remember the name of this product over here on the right. But these are options that you can record your live TV even though you're streaming. Everybody loves the ability with your cable to just record DVR whatever your favorite show is, because you're not going to be around to watch it. That was a big issue for a lot of people that were cutting the cable, is they were very hesitant to do that because they don't have this DVR option. But there are some products that are available out here. These guys are rather expensive. It's anywhere from like $200 to $400 for one of these devices. So in my opinion, it's not worth it. But if you go back to Hulu Live or YouTube TV, they are beginning to offer DVR options on there included in with your monthly price. So this is DVR. Being able to DVR your streaming content is becoming more of a possibility now. All right. So the library, what the library can offer, besides hopefully this very informative presentation, we have some services that you should definitely check out. There's Hoopla, which will allow you to stream movies and TV shows. Also included in there, you can get access to ebooks, audiobooks, and music as well. And you're allowed to get up to 10 checkouts per month. That's all free with your Itasca Community Library card. And we also have hotspots that you can check out from us, Wi-Fi hotspots. We're actually looking to expand that service right now and help those who are really in need of internet access. But when we do reopen, which will hopefully be soon, you can check these Wi-Fi hotspots out, and you can actually connect up to 8 different devices, and it's all on Sprint's 4G LTE network, which is really solid, really great network. Yeah, and there's our bibliography. Brookfield Public Library was where I used to work at. I didn't update this page here. But if you have any questions, feel free to email us. We've got adult services at itascalibrary.org. You can reach us that way. We also have live chat going on weekly, Monday through Friday from 1 to 4. But I'm going to get our questions here. Yep. Jennifer Aniston is on Apple TV. And thank you, Daniel. The one on the right was TiVo. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any other questions here. I will hang out here for a little bit if anybody has any additional questions. And I'll also check the chat here real quick. I'm going to stop sharing. And there's nothing in the chat. So also, if you do have any, I've also created a handout for this presentation. So if you do like it, please email us, and we can send that out to you so you have all the information in there. I know it was kind of a lot here. Yeah, we're keeping the chat, our live chat, on our website. You go to our website, that's going to be available from 1 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And you can always email us as well. And then we also had a question here on how do you manage the remote controls? Great question. Great question. Make sure you don't lose them. No. We have 3 remotes. So we have one remote to the actual physical TV, and then we also have a remote for our our Kindle Fire Stick. So that's how we stream our content, is through the Kindle Fire Stick. We lost that remote, oh man, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But what's really awesome is that you can download the app to your smartphone, and your smartphone can be your remote control. So whether it's Apple TV or Amazon Fire Stick, that's all. You can just download the app and you'll be all set. It looks like we've got a couple more questions here. No, I think that's it. Yeah, so the live chat we're gonna have open from 1 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, even though we're closed, even though the physical space is closed. We'll have a librarian or two monitoring that chat session. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a chat from our website, or again, you can email us and we can get in touch with you that way. And if you do give us a call, we will eventually get to it. Excuse me, we do go into the building every once in a while to check on things, and that's when we check our voicemails, and we can also check those remotely. So if you do need to leave us a message, feel free to do that as well, and we will eventually get back to you. So guys, yeah, I hope you found this very informative. I hope there weren't too many glitches here. This was our very first one, and again, if you did miss it, or a friend or neighbor missed out, we're going to put this recording available on our YouTube channel. And again, please go sign up if you haven't already for our e-newsletter blasts. It's where we're going to have the majority of how we're going to communicate all the important information, like our programming going on while we're closed. So please check into that, subscribe, and get informed. Awesome. Let me see. I think one more question came in. We pay $5.99 a month to Comcast for a service protection plan. We would still have to cover that wiring. You know what? I don't know, to be honest with you. The service protection plan, we would still need to have that. That covers all inside wiring, TV, internet, and voice. Maybe just for your internet. If you still have a phone through Comcast, if they provide phone service and your internet, that might be a good thing to have, even though you're still dropping your TV with them. So I think that's it for the questions, guys. If I'll hang out here for a little bit while longer if people have more questions, but if not, again, we do have a handout for this, so please email us, adultservices@itascalibrary.org, or you can also talk to us on the chat from 1 to 5, Monday through Friday. But thank you all very much for coming out. I hope it was informative and beneficial. Good luck cutting the cable, if that's what you end up choosing. All right, everybody. I think we're no more questions. So I'm going to end this, and thank you guys all very much for coming out. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.